Do you know the story of the rotten? When one of the oranges in the sack rots, the surrounding others become affected. The same derivation occurs when one person influences those around her. The one who just threw a rotten tomato is screaming, "You are a pest!" Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Don't you think that the person who other people's heads off is the rot orange? That's what I'd like to talk about. My name is Alicia. I got married, 30-year-old devoted to marriage. My relationship with my husband, Ryan, is perfect. If my career continues to grow, I would have a child in the future. I'm still 30, but already 30. Everyone has their own opinions, and mine. I'd like to go with the flow.
What are you talking about? Have a right away? Women are meant to bear children.
My mother-in-law, Carrie, says such insensitive things.
Mom, please don't interfere in our... We talk about these things together.
Ryan is quick to defend me.
Your completely wrapped little finger. That's why I was against your marriage to an older woman. She tricks and manipulates you.
She said, her face twisted in disgust as I bit down on the bitter taste.
Since you came, my family has been... We were at peace. But because of you has gone. You have ruined my life too.
Once her blood rushes to her head, up and loses control. I wish there was a switch to turn him off like a robot. Unfortunately, humans don't have such a thing. If only my father-in-law were here, he would have helped me out. Unfortunately, he's out golfing with coworkers today. Ryan and I can't handle her well. So, in times like these, we need to be reminded of what is truly important.
Enough. Home. Let's go home.
Ryan prompts me to leave. Her temper tantrums amaze me every...
I'm sorry, Han, about my mother.
Don't worry. It's nothing new. 33.
We've been married for a year, and to it, she and I have been at odds with each other since the beginning of our marriage. The first time I met her was when Ryan brought me to his parents' house. She was sitting next to my father-in-law, Ben, with a sulky face.
This is Alicia. We met at work.
Ryan introduced me, so I leaned in to give them a kiss on each cheek. In contrast to Ben, who was cheerful, she had an irritated look on her face.
Does she work to scavenge men?
It was the first time someone had just blatantly shown malicious intent towards me. I was in total shock and had no idea was being told.
Mom. How rude.
Ryan tried to argue on my behalf, Beale having none of it.
It's just not right for a mature... marry a man 4 years younger.
It was true that I was older, but was strange to have an older wife in our these days. And to tell me that straight in my quite rude, that was the first time I realized my mother-in-law was insane.
I was the one who approached her.
It was my on Ryan's part, but I felt embarrassed. There was an air of awkwardness between them. I glanced at him and saw that he was blushing.
Well, Alicia, thank you for taking Son. I hear that you are at a manager level and are giving him guidance at work.
Ben tried to make me feel at ease, the situation neutral, but Carrie continued. I grew uneasy about marrying Ryan. Even though Ben was nice, I couldn't understand why he didn't scold his son for being so boldly nasty at his fair the first place. It soon became clear thought.
My mom may not look like that, but actually sickly.
I was about to retort, no way. But I swallowed and listened. She suffered from migraines and often needed to stay in bed. Ben had been trying not to rock the of concern for her health, instead won her.
I see. It must be hard for him too.
Yeah, but don't worry, I'm gonna off loud and clear.
His reassurance made me decide to make Carrie continued to bully me after married. Most of the time, she would do this while I was on the phone, so I could only half listen. She would put down her phone and let me rant. There was no harm to me. We didn't live together, so it was worry about. I thought so too, but
My head hurts. I have vertigo. Please over quickly.
she called Ryan once a week, usually on Saturday. Ben was often out on weekends for business trips or meetings. She was home alone most of the time. Whenever Ryan received such a call, go and check on her.
Don't worry, 11 go alone. 33.
That will make her hate me even more. Go with you.
At that time, I was still bound by obligation to get along with her. She was sick, and I should have showed a bit of care. I was thinking positively. Ryan seemed somewhat relieved to know that I was coming along. I was also hoping that she would take this opportunity to open up to me a little, but unfortunately, it didn't happen.
What are you doing here? Get out of here.
When we arrived at her house, she asked, Doctor shut on me, and I was almost away. I thought to myself that she seemed well, but I kept my mouth shut. Ryan quickly intervened.
Mom, you're going to get even more excited. Calm down.
Instead of listening to him, she became more agitated.
Be quiet. Why did you take her as I disapprove of it?
Why did she hate me so much?
What do you not like about,
I asked her fearfully.
I don't like your voice, your face, that you are older than him, your class, everything. I don't like you one bit.
She denied my existence at once.
Enough. How dare you speak to me like that? We had plans today, but we came here instead.
You think I care? I didn't ask you her along.
She turned away and went into her bed.
Home. Let's just go home.
But I'm not sure if it's a good idea to use this method.
If she can move and talk that much, be fine. There's no need for us to be here. 33.
Ryan urged me to leave. When we were walking to the train zone,
Hi, it's been a long time. 33.
an elderly woman approached us.
Oh, it's been a while. Alicia, this is your neighbor. How are you doing?
When he introduced me as his wife, she suddenly changed her expression.
So you're the wife. 3.
Yes, I am.
She took a breath and then grimaced.
You have to be nice to your mother. I don't care how much you can't talk badly about her health. It's really heartless, don't you think?
Ryan and I were both stunned, not understanding what she was talking about. If we took her words as they were, false accusation.
What do you mean? Who told you that?
Carrie always tells me in tears that she is spiteful. I understand that you guys aren't. It's terrible to overdo it. It's definitely not her fault that get pregnant, is it? It's your own problem. If you continue to behave in this manner, you will be punished.
I felt my blood boil all at once.
I can't believe this.
I could not say another word. Carrie had been telling the neighbors lies about me and was having fun with it. Ryan was furious too.
Everything my mother told you is true. Please don't believe it.
He took my hand and we walked away.
What did I ever do to her? Why did up those lies?
I'm so sorry. I'm ashamed to be her.
He seemed to be quite shocked at her, didn't say anything more than that. After that, Carrie and I ceased to. Ryan became the middleman for all correspondence and went to his parer alone.
I have to at least show my face. If she's really ill, it wouldn't be funny. 33.
He smiled sadly at me, and I had no but to see him off silently. Then came the holiday season. My parents had already passed away. Sister was living alone at home. We decided to visit her after Chris. The problem was my in-laws' house. I still didn't want to see Carrie, but didn't want to. be estranged from Bev, who had always been nice to me. I was agonizing about what to do. Then Ryan suggested,
My dad will be home on Christmas Day, so don't we just drop by for a bit?
if he were at home, Carrie would be calm. Ryan said, if she throws another tantrum like that in front of Ben, we're going to have a problem. I agreed with him. On Christmas Day, the unimaginable.
Hi, Alicia.
Merry Christmas, Ben. Are you all right?
He looked somewhat paler than usual.
Yes, I'm fine. You must be cold.
His voice lacked energy, too. Ryan and I were puzzled as we entered the house. Carrie was lying down on the sofa in the living room, devouring navel oranges. Without even glancing at me, she said, I'm sorry.
You're here again. I don't feel good at all.
I sat down in the living room with a smile on my face. Ben brought me a cup of tea.
Thank you, Alicia, for always checking in on Carrie.
Oh, no. It's only until a while ago. I haven't been able to come here lately. It's been hectic.
I couldn't tell him the real reason, so I stammered a little.
Oh, please. I'm still grateful. I'm sorry for the trouble she caused.
Ben patted me on my shoulder. Carrie stared at him with evil eyes.
You guys are so noisy. I can't even watch TV.
She got up from the sofa and shouted,
Hey, why don't you show some gratitude? They came all the way here for us.
I asked my son to come. I don't want to see this woman.
She began to roughly peel an orange coffee table.
Sorry, Alicia. I'm very sorry.
Please don't apologize. It's all
Ryan and I were a little taken aback by his humble behavior. We remained there for a little while until Carrie suddenly lashed out.
This orange is rotten. It's all you, Alicia.
What in the world did it have to do? Ryan and Ben were perplexed by her odd behavior. Without a care, she continued,
You are like a rotten orange. You are a bad influence on everyone Even the neighbors are saying that pest.
My patience, which I had been enduring, finally snapped.
That's because you've been spreading rumors about me? Shut up. Who cares if it's true or I can't stand that you're in my life.
It was like a toddler throwing a tar. There was no logic in what she was.
Don't be ridiculous. Why do you ask me that? Shut up, you pest.
With the scream, an orange sphere F me with a whoosh. I felt a crushing sensation on my face, fell to the floor with a dull thud. A navel orange peeled.
You are a rotten orange. That's what you are. You have to be thrown away.
She looked at Ben and Ryan and Kant. Rant.
She talks back too much. Just throw her out and be done with it.
I couldn't take it anymore. I was so tired of trying to be good to her. I wiped the juice of the orange from my face with tissues. I thought I couldn't be a member of family. Ryan and I might have been finished. Such a sense of despair came over me. At that moment, Ben spoke up.
I see, then I should leave you too.
His voice rumbled.
I agree. I'm determined to take control of my life now. So am I, Dad.
Ryan followed quietly.
See? I told you.
Carrie misunderstood that they were going to get rid of her. She seemed to recite the lines in he and finally understood. She expected them to come to her side, but it was the opposite.
What did you guys say?
I say I'm going to get rid of you. You just said, throw away the rotten, didn't you?
Ben, honey, am I a rotten orange? No human being.
She's banging on the table, venting frustration, but there was no one on her side any.
I'm going to be blunt. You are the orange in this room. In other words, you're a rotten human being.
Had there been a time when Ryan's mother had not been so strict with him? Sensing something was wrong, she parked.
What's wrong, Ryan? She's got you up again? I wonder how much of a pet she is.
She was asking for his agreement in a pleading voice.
No, Mom. I am her husband. As a husband, I have a duty to protect her. You are no longer my mother, for you have abused me. I'm cutting you off at all costs.
How dare you say that?
She glared at Ryan and tried to jump, but Ben grabbed her.
Stop it. You're making a fool of you.
His normally calm face turned grim. She wasn't so sensible that she would flinch at such a trivial thing.
Well, then why don't you protect your wife? My son and daughter-in-law torment me with it.
I wanted to reiterate that I would never do anything wrong to her. Rather, I was the victim. But in her mind, our position was...
I think I protect you enough. I watch over you so that you don't, Alicia. Can you even see that?
Behind his calm demeanor, there was inexpressible anger. He had been patient with her for years, decades even. He must have been overflowing with that had built up over the years.
Wow! What the hell? Are you making me the villain? It's her being a rotten orange that blame.
Since she came, She suddenly collapsed. I was stunned, but Ben and Ryan didn't pay any attention to her.
What are you going to do now, Dad?
Divorce. I'm going to leave this here.
She'll even be on the street without it.
Divorce? What do you mean leaving?
The one who supposedly fainted got force and glared at us. It seemed I was the only one who was by her acting.
Oh, wow, you're quite all right. You on your own then?
She grimaced at me as I commented sarcastically, but our positions were reversed. I glared back at her more than twice. She instantly looked frightened and quiet. After that, Ben fired for divorce. Later, I found out that he had been with her for a long time. Although he didn't think about diving, he kept a distance and did not argue. He even minimized the time he spent and devoted himself to his work. Because of this, she became a tyrant and did whatever she wanted. Her tyranny had been directed only until I became her target. He felt a strong sense of crisis then.
I found out on Christmas Eve that she had been spreading lies about you to the neighbors. I was disgusted to find out that she is a horrible woman. I was disgusted to find out that he is a horrible man.
That's why he looked pale and gloomy that day. The mystery was solved. When the divorce was on his mind, the orange incident happened. That was the last straw for him to his mind.
She's put you through a lot of pain. Apologizing won't make it go away.
No worries. It's you who've had it over the decades. 33.
When I consoled him, his eyes became... I was skeptical that he was really leaving a sickly wife.
She even lied about being sickly and act.
When I heard it, I was really surprised. She tried to gain his sympathy by saying that she was seriously ill and wanted a divorce on those grounds. However, a medical checkup revealed that there was no problem.
There must be something wrong with Find It.
As she lost her position, she ranted at the hospital. After the divorce, Ben turned the house over to her as part of the property division and moved out. He informed the neighbors about the Anne, cleared all the lies she made up. He put everything in order, including retorting my honor. The neighbor who accused me called and apologized to me. The rotten orange incident is supposedly still talked about today.
Her neighbors know about her past, so it's become difficult for her to there. 3.
My husband tells me about Carrie's life, and I almost burst into laughter. Well, she deserves it, doesn't she?
I hope Ben has a peaceful life after all the trouble he's been through.
I am happy too, so I hope he finds his happiness as well.
Shall we go give him the happy news?
I'm gonna be a father too.
He took my hand gently. I put my hand on my stomach, which was showing a tiny bump. It felt warm against my hand.